Before I start, first I'd like to start off by recognizing my former teammate, Lawrence Molton. Was a good friend of mine, my teammate. I know Coach Boeheim and everybody came out today and spoke at halftime. So I just wanted to recognize him and his family. I'm close with their family, so I just wanted to. Glad that we recognize, Syracuse great, and not even a basketball player, but also a human being. So, I want to start off by that. Saying that. And secondly, I just want to thank our fans, all who came out in this weather. I thought they made a difference. The crowd was tremendous. So I want to thank them. I know our guys appreciated that. And on the game, I just thought it was a total team win. I thought our guys trusted each other. I thought we locked in on defense for 40 minutes. We haven't done that in a while. And, I thought we played with toughness. I think that's just the start of what we need to be like every game. That'll give us a chance. Any questions?
Adrian, what went into having Donnie start off on the bench tonight, and how do you feel like that, ended up hurting or helping the team?
No, I just thought, me and Donnie, we talked, and I just thought in this game particularly, for some reason, I thought the matchups was a little bit better. Me and him, we talked, but he was ready to go. So it was nothing but just something like that, strategic game planning.
Was there any pushback from him at all? Or?
No, he was ready to go. He was ready. He's good. He's trying to win. He wants to win. That's the great thing about it. Had a great attitude. I think, again, having him come off the bench and for today, that was a big boost for us as well.
Do you expect to stick with that? Yes.
I'm not sure yet.
You just sit on 21 of 32 of your shots today, and the ball moved a little bit better. Do you have any explanation about why that happened?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, so you sit on 21 of 32
Oh.
and the ball seemed to move better, and I'm curious about what your thoughts were, how that happened today, why that happened.
I thought we played with pace today. I thought Nate George and JJ really set the tone. I thought I thought we got the ball out of our hand. I thought we made quicker decisions, but the pace, the cuts, I thought everything was really good today, and it was the first time we had moved like that in a while. We haven't moved like that in a while, and so again, I'll keep showing them, this is what we've envisioned. We have to do it more, not just in spots.
You came in with 4 straight losses. Micah was just here. He said that was the beauty of having a couple of old guys like Nate and JJ, so you could lean on. Did you say anything to any of your more veteran guys in the days leading up to today's game?
No, I thought they took total leadership. I thought, again, JJ is the senior leader, and I thought he really, just the way he's, played and competed. I know we've come up short, but we all know JJ. He can, like he got it going today. Like he can score in bunches. And I thought, his leadership in practice and his attitude, and him and Nate, I think they really set the tone. And I can't forget Will Kyle too. So I thought in this tough stretch, that our seniors really stepped up, and I thought our young guys got behind them.
I know it's been a few years since JJ transferred from Notre Dame, but what's it like to have a guy like him doing this for you and not for them?
I'm excited. JJ. I've known JJ for a long time, and when things didn't work out at Notre Dame, I think I was his first call. I hope I was his first call. But to be able to kind of watch him grow and mature here, and then to be able to kind of, again, it's always special to play against your former teammates, and and play well and get a win.
And when you called him, do you remember what you said to him?
Yeah, you need to come home.
Coach, you mentioned earlier of the week of just kind of laying everything out on the table, whether that was schemes or combinations. How do you feel like your team responded to that message from last game?
I think they responded well. Again, I thought this was our most complete game that we've had in a long time. I really do. I thought we played with toughness. We played together. Even we recovered. Even when we made mistakes, we recovered. We contested stuff at the rim today. We got 50-50 balls. I thought that was the beginning of that kind of set the tone. I think JJ got the first one. I thought that was huge. So I was really happy the way they responded.
Kings is your most efficient backcourt guy. He took the most shots he has this season. Did you do anything different or emphasize anything more to free him up, or was that just the guards finding?
I think the ball just moved more, and he's seen a couple go down, and we talked about as a team trying to find guys like him, him and Tyler Betsy, when we get a chance to get them some open looks, because those guys shoot at an elite level. So I thought the ball moved a lot, but I also thought he was really more aggressive when he touched it. Thought he was really looking to get downhill, and we opened up the floor a little bit. I thought people played off of JJ and George attacking and kicking it out.
10 assists and no turnovers for George today. What did you see from him today that you haven't seen lately?
I just seen, he had control of the game. I thought he really set the table for us. Again, we acknowledged him after the game. Again, that's big time for us to be able to have 10 assists. He got everyone involved and took care of the ball. I thought he really set the table and took shots that came to him.
Coach, when you look at this game, like you had mentioned before, honoring Lawrence Molton, seeing his family here today, just how he lives on with you, how he lives on with Syracuse, and why it was so important to get a win tonight for him as he watches over.
Well, that's my former teammate, and I'm sure he's looking up saying, "You better get this one, bro." So, I was happy that we were able to come through, and his family was here to be able to, play well in front of his family, which are close friends of mine as well. That means a lot.
You mentioned opening up the floor. You had Nate and Tyler on the floor quite a bit. How does that allow you to open the floor a little bit?
Talking about two elite shooters, they can't leave those guys. They shoot at a high level. I think they both were definitely over 40. I think Tyler might be a little higher, just not as many shots. But, two guys that can really stretch the floor. I think that helps. JJ, I think that helps. Donnie, I think that helps, the whole team, whoever it is, whether it's, Cayenne or any of our guards, like guys getting into the lane. I think it really helps our downhill guys with that stretching of the floor.
But more than losing streak, how have practices been this past week since the NC State game? And what has the mood been among the players?
The one thing that I made a point of, I didn't want to see anyone's head down. No one's feeling sorry. Right? We can't feel sorry for ourselves. And again, I've said it before. I really believe in the team, and we got the pieces. So, and we've played well enough to win games. Even in this tough stretch, we played well enough to win games. And we, now we got 9 games left. So, the one thing we can't do is hold our heads down, and that wasn't happening. They were competing. This is a good group. Again, JJ, our leaders, really set the tone. They would not allow it. We practiced with some focus and intent.
Time for one more.
Coach, you talk about Donnie coming out of the starting lineup and you insert Sadiq tonight. Can you speak to, I guess, the energy that Sadiq provided right off the bat, and play 20 minutes and it's after you defensively? Speak to what he meant to the team.
Yeah, I thought Sadiq gave us a real big boost energy-wise, especially. Notre Dame has a lot of skill guys. We were able to really stretch our defense, and I thought he did a really good job of, setting screens, and he can talk. I thought he communicated really well for the rest of the guys when we were in coverages, and he got to the glass. That's the one thing that I've always challenged him on, is getting to the glass. I thought he did that really well. 6 rebounds, but Sadiq is, he's just one of those guys that his energy is infectious, right? You feel him, and the way he communicates and he uplifts guys. And I thought he did a really, really good job tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.